Alright, it is time for day 8 of the Lilith mod. So, today, I gotta be honest, I was thinking about doing Lilith DLC, but we all know how DLC goes here. It's gonna be an easy clear, it's just gonna be a time sink, and realistically I'm not gonna use any of the farms or items from the DLC. So I think it would be a better use of time to go ahead and just farm up some XP, and then get ready for DigiPeak. So that's what we're going to do. And once again, could do the normal XP farms, could do McZafford, could go ahead and do even Bad Maw, stuff like that. But I am just going to go ahead and do times 25 against the Skags here. Just kind of because it's fast, and also why not at this point. And a great thing about choosing to farm these Skags is we should relatively maintain our damage well, since Radiance and Phoenix are both based on our level, and then I can also rock a Skyrocket here for anything like a Rabbit or any enemy that isn't an easy kill. So it should just be a good choice for us to do this. So I am testing out our melee damage and Venom right now, and it does turn out that the higher our melee poke damage is, the higher the dot we apply is. That being said, it's still an RNG chance of whether or not we apply that dot. So we could potentially get a Venom tick that is buffed by Phase Strike and Venom, of course, but that might take a little bit of work to do, but it would provide crap tons of damage. Like, so much damage if we were to get it. And also considering the fact that we wouldn't get as much use out of a melee relic since it is additive damage and it's really small, we could go for a corrosive bone with this character, and that would provide us more cooldown to spam our abilities faster, and also it would provide that corrosive damage for Venom. So definitely a thing to keep in mind. Alright, so level 80, got our Calm here that I want to use, so it's got the +6 to Phase Strike, +6 to Phase Strike, +5 to Venom. So that'll provide us an extra 60% melee damage here. So if we get the Phase Strike followed by the Corrosive Tick, this should feel really, really strong. I've gone ahead and spec'd our character basically to be melee. I added a little bit of damage here for bullets just in case. We've got Spark here for the elemental effect chance and damage. We've got the Radiance still, kind of just because why not? It does an okay tick and it can break shields. We've got Intuition for the movement speed still. Phoenix because extra fire tick is nice too. Venom, of course. We've got a little bit of elemental resistance, which didn't feel like it did much, but it might help. Got 1 point here in striking, just in case. We've got the extra shield capacity here, and then we've got the other skills here. Now, I might go ahead and spec out of Girl Power, because that'll regen our shield, which we do not want if we are doing a melee build. So, as a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and do that. So, went ahead and respect, got out of Girl Power, put an extra point here, put 3 points in Mind Games, and then I did full stack Resilience, and we did also pick up Silent Resolve. This will allow us to get 70% damage reduction, and hopefully with the elemental resistance here, means we won't actually get farmed too much, hopefully. So that's currently the plan. And now for gear, we pretty much just need to get an at-level Herald, because that'll be a nice safe pick for this character no matter what. And then maybe a Love Thumper, maybe a Bada Boom or something like that as a rocket launcher, and then of course the Bone of the Ancients would be nice. Alright, let's go ahead and try to test out our poke damage here. So, no corrosive dot applied, which feels bad, but this corrosive dot isn't terrible. I mean, of course, we would have preferred to have gotten our damage buffed outright, just by, you know, poking the guy. But there's still a chance. Yeah, because that's a ton of corrosive damage when it does hit. Another really nice thing about the Venom Corrosive Tick is the fact that we can go ahead and swap to a Grog if we need to go ahead and heal with it. And also, our damage outright is just really, really nice, even without a good melee shield on. Yeah, that's so nice. Alright, go ahead and try for a poke. Yeah, so that almost one-shot Savage Lee, and that was not even a crit. That wasn't a corrosive dot applied or anything like that. So if we think about the fact that our corrosive dots are doing 20% of whatever our base melee is whenever we do hit enemies, that's a really strong tick. So maybe even against a raid boss, that could be really, really good if we did get a crit. Okay, that's a oof. Okay, so we've got a Deepa. To be fair, I'm only using it for panic heal swapping with the Grog, so I'm not upset that it's actually going to be really bad to use. But it's still a Herald, so we can use that to shot swap to Grog, heal, etc. Alright, so turning in the initial setup quest here for the Love Thumper farm, I am going to go ahead and enable read-only mode, and then do the entire quest in read-only mode, and then take advantage of the fact that we are using BL2 Fix to use Iridium to re-roll the quest, dump the item into Claptrap Stash, and then reload the character, so it's like we never even did the quest in the first place, and we could potentially get a higher level one later if we need to. So let's do that. Okay, so we did get a Love Thumper. It's got pretty decent damage stat here, an extra million damage per melee. So that paired with the extra 1,760% melee damage here, plus the extra venom tick here, and then like our other supporting skill and class mod. It should be pretty good, probably. So now we've got our Herald, we've got a Rapier, we've got a Grog. We could use a Bada. I think we'll try going without it for right now. And then I would still like a Bone of the Ancients, so we'll try to get a bone really quick. If we can't, I'll probably just go into peak. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. So, we've got our corrosive damage, we've got our cooldown rate there. Go ahead and clean out random junk from our inventory real quick. A bee shield would be a good backup to have, but I'm just gonna trust this Herald. Hopefully this will work by itself. And yeah, let's just go try to open peak now, I guess. Alright, so first couple OP levels, like always, I will say should go pretty easy. Even if we don't necessarily have the most stacked character in terms of gun damage, our melee damage and our corrosive tick here with Venom should be able to hold ground pretty well. So hopefully we can get away with trying out this melee build once again. I would like to point out, they haven't broken my shield yet, but it is only Skags we've run into so far. So I'm wondering if Silent Resolve is actually as good as I think it is, or if it's that plus Resilience, although these guys deal like non-elemental damage. So probably not that, realistically. Okay, so I don't normally stop like this to go ahead and call out specific comments, but I would like to say thank you to Grimmy Locked here for suggesting the fact that Venom is actually really, really strong with this mod. I probably would have spec'd it passively anyway, but I would not have thought about the fact that its corrosive tick would be so insanely strong. So thank you, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you noted it. Now, here are some enemies that I would love to test this corrosive tick on. So hopefully we get one to take one first try here. Or it just explodes. That, you know, it exploding also works. I'm totally okay with that. Okay, so our melee might be a little bit strong. Just gonna put that out there. But, honestly, I'm kind of just okay with that, since this character doesn't have a whole lot in terms of, like, gun damage and weapon damage. So, yeah, I think it's okay. Being able to just, you know, spam melee people to death and then get a bunch of cooldown back anyway for it, I think that's kind of fair. Alright, Scorch. So go ahead and let him break my shield. Maybe Resilience is doing a good job here. Little bit more. There we go. Okay, yeah, once he broke my shield, that was a lot. But hopefully, not a strong corrosive tick, unfortunately. But, dead Scorch. Alright, Black Queen. Gotta imagine this is probably gonna go well. Yeah, and that corrosive tick was actually kicking in that time. That felt really, really strong. Alright, so pretty comfortably able to make it to OP5 already. Now, I could replace our Love Thumper. I probably should replace our Love Thumper. And yeah, that's probably exactly what I'm going to go do. So we'll replace our Love Thumper, and then I just basically am ready for binary at this point. Okay, so new Love Thumper does over double, just by a little bit, of what the old shield did. So yeah, feels good. Nice little upgrade. This should be a pretty good test of our equipment here. So we'll go ahead and let our shield get broken, hopefully safely. That, yes, very safe, very good there. Wait for our health to be above half real quick. Hopefully he stops turning so much. And this might take a little bit of effort. Okay, not a problem. Okay, we're taking the boss pretty well here. Got an okay dot on him. Kinda wish it was a little bit stronger. But it works. It definitely works. Okay, so yeah, not the safest strat, but we've pretty much just been waiting for our invis, turning invis, poking him in the eye, and just repeating that. I gotta imagine we can pretty much use this strat all the way up until OP10, just because, I mean, it's just kind of free. So yeah, that's probably exactly what we'll try to do. Oh, I just got punished for being super aggressive. Maybe the level 80 Herald can crutch? Okay, cool. So, yeah, you could in fact just stay and just keep turning invis and poking and then running away, turning invis, poking again. And it does in fact get you the binary kill. I went down because I just started swinging against the boss with no real good plan there. But it worked out, barely. But it did. Alright, now here's the fight I am truly, genuinely scared of in Peak, and it is Dukino's mom with melee. I do not like doing this fight as a melee character. If I hadn't used my Lady Fist farm, I'd probably get a corrosive Lady Fist right now and just try to use that with a B shield against the boss. But in the spirit of the funny, we're gonna try to go for the melee kill anyways, because kinda just why not at this point. Okay. So we got a corrosive tick on the boss. That is not a lot. I think mainly what we'll end up having to do is just kind of walk the dog for a while. And then whenever we can get an invis poke in, we can go ahead and do that for a lot of damage. But that's probably our entire loop here. It's just that, and then go hide. And there we go. Okay. So, yeah, shock lob attack while I was on cooldown, like I said, turns out to be quite dangerous and quite painful. So, yeah, that's a death. I think what we will go ahead and do then is we will go ahead and look for any gun. Any gun that can deal with that problem. Okay, first try Herald upgrade. Feels pretty good. Mollywan grip, not so good. That's okay though. And I think what we're going to do here for Dukino is I'm going to go ahead and get a B shield at OP6. And then I'm going to go backwards to TVHM to grab a corrosive Lady Fist. And then basically just use that with B shield's damage to take down Dukino. Okay. Got a B shield. It is explosive damage reduction, which doesn't actually work by the way. Sure. It's a damage shield. That's all we need it for. Alright. It's not a great Lady Fist, but it is a Lady Fist to be fair here. So it's got a Tor grip kind of feels bad. It's got a max size accessory though, so that's cool. So hopefully this works. So wearing the Hyperion Executive here for the extra gun damage and mag size, it will also buff our crit a little bit there. And then if we could trigger kill skills in this fight, since it is Skags and then Dukino, we can't really do that, but that would have been nice if we could have done that for that skill. And then the chance to daze, I guess, is okay, but it's mainly just the raw damage and mag size I really want from this. I'm starting to see how the stun effect works here. So on these mobs, it looks like it is just slowing them. And I don't know if it would reduce enemy weapon accuracy, but I'd have to imagine it probably does, so that's pretty nice too. And now we just have to hope for a pretty decent Dukino here. Instantly you can see the damage is just so much better. I mean, that's just tons better. And then we can just replace this B shield and do this pretty much every level from here on. And we could just pretty much run a gun build if we wanted to. The B shield's really what's doing the talking though. And once again at binary, gonna go ahead and try out the little pairing here again, just because I assume it'll be really, really strong. Maybe apply slag? Okay, we got slag. It took a couple years, but we got there. Turn invis right before we get tagged. Probably just AFK through the entire effect. Maybe throw some nades for the extra slag chance. And then just back to shooting and scooting. And there we go. Yeah, I mean, this is normal gun character gameplay right here, realistically. Running a Lady Fist and a V-Shield anyone can do. So, not really unique to the character. I guess the class mod helps it along, and then being able to turn invis to get away from bad situations is nice. But yeah, when we want to do gun stuff, we really have to kind of crutch on super good gun stuff. Alright, so Saturn, you'll never guess what the plan is. It's totally not to just sit up here and just slowly but surely peck away at them. Alright, there we go. So, yeah, can fight Saturn. Next time, probably would consider speccing out Quicksilver and the high velocity here. I did buy a mercenary from this vendor right next to us, so that was a massive help there too. Yeah, maybe a gun spec from here on would be a good idea. And there we go. So, yeah, we hit OP10. The melee build did start to feel a little difficult to maintain, once again, because of the swap speed and also because health does not get increased per OP level or anything like that. But the gun build did kind of take over a little bit, because of course having Lady Fist and a Sandhawk with a B shield is just going to feel good no matter who you are. So, overall, not a terrible peak experience, definitely not one of the best I've had. But the ability to just say nah and just turn invisible and walk away from problems, the ability to heal pretty much any time I needed to, and then stuff like the movement speed and the chance to not consume ammo and stuff like that, of course, feels really, really nice. So, yeah, not too bad. I guess that'll go ahead and do it. So, yeah. Day 7? 8. One of those. See you later.